My next guest has done so much in his young life. Singer-songwriter, general researcher of genealogy, you name it, executive director of a nonprofit. He is now also an author. He has written a book called The Early County Massacre, Goolsby versus the State of Georgia. My guest is Orice Jenkins. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Ann.
All right, and I just told you before we went to taping that I met you when you were 15, although I thought it was 12.
Right.
Playing the piano at the Goodspeed Opera House, and I have been impressed with you ever since of all you've done. All right, here is the book, The Early County Massacre. How did this start in the first place?
It started when I went to Georgia for the first time in my life for a family reunion, and I heard about this story that there was some sort of uprising and there were a lot of things going on, and I didn't really understand what they meant by that. But eventually I came across newspaper articles that 2 of my teenage relatives were actually killed in 1915, burned alive in a cabin. Yet a few hours later, I found the death certificate for one of those teenagers many years later. And I said, wait a minute, how could he have died in 1940 if he was burned alive in 1915? He must have survived. And I realized that lots of the people survived that reported were killed. So I wanted to kind of put all this together, correct the record, figure out who died, who didn't, and what happened to those people that survived.
All right, there is a lot of research in here. You said it took you 6-7 years to write this.
Yes.
How were you able to research this? Was it difficult to find the information that you needed?
It was difficult. I had to go to Blakely, Georgia. I had to go sift through the courthouse, open documents that had not been opened in over 100 years, and sift through about 500 different documents throughout the whole process, almost 600 documents, to kind of figure out, okay, what's the truth and what's not. So it was very difficult.
Was this painful for you as you were reading about your relatives and what happened to them?
It was painful at first when I read the part about them being burned alive, but once I found out it wasn't true, once I found out that they were actually a prosperous black family in Georgia, I was actually very proud of them and what they were able to accomplish before the massacre happened.
What do you want people to know when they read this story? What do you want them to get from this?
I want people to understand the accomplishments that Grandison and Mary Goolsby were able to make happen before Grandison was killed, and with Mary Goolsby owning 700 acres of land in her lifetime, you know, as a black woman whose father was born enslaved. It's an incredible story. These are, to me, national heroes. They're American heroes, and the things that they went through should be studied just like we study, you know, American history in school. But I never learned any stories like this. So,
did you uncover enough for another book? Or was this your one and only baby that you're putting out there?
I've uncovered enough for probably 13,000 books, but I don't know about another book from me, but I'm going to keep sharing as much as I can on my website. I have more information up there that didn't make it into the book, because I'm still finding things even now. So I'm going to keep publishing the information, hopefully do something visual in the future. People want it to be a movie, a documentary, so we'll see what happens in the future.
It would be a really good documentary. Yeah. And just as a side note, how's the music going?
Music is going all right. It's a very busy weekend for me because I have a book signing in New Haven on Sunday, and then I have a concert in Hartford on Monday. So I'm doing, it's just a lot in my...
Where's the concert, and tell me about it?
The concert is going to be in Bushnell Park in Hartford with the Afro-Semitic Experience, who they were here.
Sure.
And you all mentioned me, so it'll be in Bushnell Park for Monday Night Jazz.
Well, just know I'm so proud of you since I met you since you were 15. That was 15 years ago. So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for being here and writing this very important book, The Early County Massacre.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you. So nice to see you. And if you'd like to know more about this book, go to WTNH.com or the News 8 app.